And these are grads of the Bauman College Holistic Chef Program. And we are so, so excited for you to meet and talk with both Sunny and Hind, Chef Sunny and Chef Hind, and learn about what they've been doing with their holistic chef certificates and how they've been helping so many people and what they've been doing. So we're going to have about an hour meeting today. Sunny's going to share first, and then we'll talk to Chef Hind and have questions for both of them as they're completing their stories for us. So Sunny, I'm going to spotlight you for and let you take it away.
Okay, awesome. Hi, everyone. And yes, definitely thank you for being flexible. Um, so I am Chef Sunny, and I was in this program around the pandemic. So um, it was kind of a crazy time. And this is my first time uh, speaking before a group of students to share my story. So I might stutter a little bit, but I'll try to get through it, and I'll try not to bore you too much. Um, so let me just kind of tell you a little bit about me and how I came to be Chef Sunny B. Um, a couple years ago, back in 2014, I was diagnosed with diabetes, and I was in denial and non-compliant. And then in 2018, my husband, who also is a diabetic, had a heart attack. And at that point, I realized, okay, stop playing. You guys need to fix this. And when it was all said and done, it came down to our nutrition. And I kind of played around a little bit with herbs and learning how to make tinctures and things like that. And one day during the pandemic, I saw an ad for Bowman College, and I saw holistic chef, and I thought, oh, what's that? And so um, did the little interview and everything. And after speaking with the admissions team, I knew this was exactly what I wanted to do, and this is where I was supposed to be. So fast forward, get through class, um, and I start working, right? So it was during the externship. I met a personal chef who specialized in plant based, and her name is Chef Adana Fuller. And she took me under her wing, and she had her own company where she did some catering, but she mainly worked with corporate contracts. And she did corporate catering. She also did lunch and learns online because it was really big, during that time, 2021, 2022. It was really, really popular, and it was new. And so she kind of took me under her wing and showed me a lot, and introduced me to a lot of people in the community. And I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And then she moved to Indiana, and that entire space was open because she was the only plant-based chef that was doing this. Now they were there in Columbus, but they weren't doing what she was doing. And so because I was with her, I kind of walk right in to a lot of those spaces. And so I ended up joining with the cancer support community that's here in Columbus, Ohio, where I live. I do three classes a month. So I do 3 Thursdays out of the month. I work with cancer support, their cancer survivors, and their caretakers. I teach them how to cook holistically, um, foods that are anti-cancerous. So I have to do the research. I have to make sure that the herbs that I'm using are really the herbs that will help them to that are considered anti-cancer, but also will help them to feel better. Um, so we work with a lot of things that are, dishes where we provide a lot of protein content, a lot of fiber, a lot of vitamin K, so a lot of kale and things like that. I've been doing that now for the last 3 years. I am the chef for them. I'll be doing my very first retreat. It's for the moms with children with cancers. They just got um, funding for pediatric oncology through Nationwide Children's Hospital here. And so the mothers will have a weekend retreat, and that's going to be the first time I do anything like that, where I stay there and I cook for them. So I'm scared, but I'm going to do it. I'm doing everything afraid. Uh, I also work with the Ohio State University. They have a community center as well, and that's for the diabetic, high blood pressure, and heart disease community. And so when they saw what I was doing with cancer support, they looked into it and called me in, and I've been doing that for the last year now. I was the very, very first chef they ever hired to contract with them. So a lot of great things have been happening in the last 3 years. In this last year alone, I've done more um, with my chef experience than anything. Being able to walk into a room and sit down with board members, that's a room I could never go in before. And I sit down with board members and discuss with them how they can make their programs better by hiring a holistic chef versus a chef. And for them, it's a big difference, you know? So I kind of capitalized on that. Um, and I stay in my lane, you know, I stick to my plant-based dishes. And I just, you know, I show them that just because there's no meat, it doesn't mean you lose flavor. So I'm very big on flavor. I'm very big on using fresh herbs. And so, yeah, so we're doing that. I started my first program, which will be today.
Yes.
And it's called The Table. It is a peer-led mental health and wellness program, and it's a series that I've set up with another organization as well as local farmers here in Columbus. We are taking children who have mental health issues or anger management, um, and their parents. Usually, the parents are single parents in not the rural, but the urban community. And I'm basically playing on the word chef, where they get to be the chef of their own life. So for every ingredient that we put into a dish, we want to make sure that we put a attitude agreement into or ingredient into our body. So for instance, if this child is known as having ODD, I think that's how it is, ODD. I call it BAD, but it's opposition defiance disorder. And so if they're having a problem with listening and following direction, then maybe we should add an ingredient, you know, into their life where they can not be so disobedient, whatever that ingredient may be for them. So we have a therapist that's coming in. I have two therapists, one for the adults and one for the children. And while the adults are having their therapy in one room, me and the children will be cooking in the other room, which is technically the icebreaker. And I have a therapist that will be in there with them as well, with the local farmer. And we're going to make our dish, and then they're going to serve their parents. And then they will go back into another room where me and the sous chef have set that room up as like a buffet family style. And they'll sit with that same therapist that they cooked with, and they'll be able to talk and have an icebreaker. So the hope is that this can turn into an after school program, and maybe down the line actually be a school program. So I'm working with a charter school, and they have let me use their kitchen, and that's what we're doing. So when I leave here, I'll be running there. And like I said, it's our first class, and we have some of our sponsors are going to be in there. And so yeah, this certificate is so much bigger than just being able to be a personal chef, because being a personal chef is phenomenal. You're going to love that one-on-one relationship that you get to develop with your client. um, but to be able to cook per the disease or per that condition, and to be able to tell them like, Oh, you having inflammation problems? Oh, okay. I know what to do about that. You know, it's amazing. And it makes you feel, it does kind of make you feel a little bigger than what you thought you were because of the way they react to you when you start implementing the things that you were taught in this program. Um, this program was more than what I bargained for. When I first started, I just thought I was going to learn how to cook or, do something really cool. And the bakery, I almost failed. I raised my hand when they said, "Who's a good baker?" I was like, "Me, all day." No, I was not. Could not get the sourdough bread to do what it needed to do. Uh, it took me about 50, 11 times. It was difficult. Baking was difficult. I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna make it. But eventually, I made it, and it was just more than what I bargained for, and it's changed my life, and I'm super super grateful. Right now, I'm still doing it part time because I don't know if you guys know, but well, of course you don't know because I can tell you, but I'm 53 years old, and so I'm not old enough to retire, but I've been on my job long enough to I need to stay. So I work a day job, and then 3 days out the week I do the culinary work. So in the evening, and that's pretty much how I do it, and it's great. It's great money. I set my own hours. I set my own pay, and don't be afraid when you go out there and they're like, oh, I can only give you $15 an hour. You can say no quickly. Let them know, like, no, because I went to school for this. In the same way, there's a cardiologist versus your primary care physician. That's who we are. We're the cardiologists of culinary. So we're holistic chefs. And, a lot of the other chefs, they can't do what we do. They don't know what we know. They know their stuff and they stay in their lane and they make their dish pretty that way. But we can do what they do plus more and still make that dish not only pretty, but taste good. And that's important. And you make sure that they know that. You don't let them push you around. You don't let them tell you what you're worth. You know your worth. Okay.
Thank you.
But
So,
that's it.
Sunny,
That's
can
all I
I
got.
share some of your beautiful photos of you in
Oh,
action?
yeah. Yeah. They're not that great, but go ahead.
On it? Yeah, I think they're great because it's really
Thank you.
cool just to see what you've been doing. Everybody can see the presentation? Okay, great.
So that's
So
me
let
in
us,
the classroom.
Amazing.
and this is a classroom within the
Uh,
center that you work at, the hospital?
no, no, this is right there at Cancer Support Community Center. They have a teaching kitchen, and we kind of tried to make it set up like your home, so that our cancer patients, when they come in, they um, they can feel like, this is how I would cook if I was home. Um, we used to do it virtually, but then we decided we really want them to do their very best to come out of the house and come into the building. And that was just because a lot of our cancer survivors, they became a little recluse, and we wanted them to, come out, be a part of this community, see what we can do for you, and feel good. And so we started getting them to come out, and they love it now. They're great. I thought they were going to miss it, but they don't miss it. And that's the dietitian that I work with. Her name is Emily. She is phenomenal. She's one of my good, good, good friends, and we work very well together. And that's also at the community. So this picture in the top, what is that? That's my left. So where I got on the red t-shirt, that is actually at one of the wellness fairs. I was set all the way in the back in Lewis at Lewis Center, which is one of the rural areas, and we had a big wellness fair, and you didn't know how many people you're going to get. So I think we ended up feeding that day. We had 108 people that came through and ate from that table, and I just kept cooking. I never stopped cooking. The one in the middle and the far left or far right, That is at the doctor's office. So there's a conference room just off the break room, and it is at we call it COOG, Central Ohio Urology Group. They they have their prostate cancer patients come up with their wives to learn how to cook healthy. There's no stove. There's no real kitchen. So every time I'm there, I got a hot plate and other appliances, and I show them how to cook. And we have baked in the toaster oven. We have cooked with the air fryer and the Instapot. It's been really good. They're always shocked at what you can do and amazed at what you can do with so little. And that's just a picture of one of the back of the head of one of the patriots. Those are always cooking demos instead of hands-on cooking classes, but we do the hands-on as well. And that is I'm actually at church. I go to the Black churches and I do my Eat to Live, which is a wellness ministry, and I do that virtually and I do it in person. And this was at the this is at the community center in on the left, but on the right, I am actually at one of the shelters, and I volunteered and went out there. Mid Ohio Food Bank sends these food baskets out to them and other residential homes or centers, and I will go out there, and that's what I do as my charity. And I cook for free, and I have the cooking classes where we learn how to cook the food that they get in those boxes. We learn how to cook that holistically. So I make sure that they're healthy. They're not using a bunch of butter. They're not deep frying. They're not grabbing all this crazy stuff. We just use what we have right there. This particular shelter, they have it's a mental health shelter. They have a community garden. So I love going out there because we can go right outside. We pick our herbs right from over there. We grab us some tomatoes. We come inside and we hook it up. And they're just always so amazed at what they can do with what they receive. And I think that's it. Oh, okay, there's more. So so this is at a client's home. This is what I call my culinary coaching. So what they do is I'll only come if you have two, not two, four or more. You have four or more people, then I come to your home and I will set everything up and I will do a whole cooking class, and it's hands on. And we work together, and I always bring a nice treat for them. They never know they're getting it. They just, but now it's the word's getting out, so they're like, we getting some. And then these are just some of the dishes that I've had. This superfood herb salad, I do this every year when we work with Helping Hands in the Garden. It's an organization that gives out free herbs once a year to our cancer patients. And they're always like, well, what do I do with this? What do you mean it's a, what is it called? It's called a mojito mint. And they're like, well, what do I do with that? So we made a herb salad, and this year we're going to do the same herb salad because they love it so much, but we're going to do it with as a tabbouleh. So I'll mix it up, and then of course there's the empowered protein bowl, and then this is the Caribbean inspired plant-based bowl, because my family is from Jamaica. I am Jamaican, but I'm born here in the U.S., and that is like my fame right there. I'm really starting to get known in the community for my plant-based Caribbean-inspired dishes, and I've been getting a lot of calls for my vegan oxtails and for my vegan crab cakes. So those two things, people they ask for it all the time. And at first I wasn't going to do it, but now I'm doing it. So, and the money's not bad. So.
I think that was the last one.
Okay, yes, so that's it. And that's all I had, you guys. I tried to talk fast, so sorry. Did you have any questions for me? Okay.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Hi.
Hi.
because we just had a business class today, that's on my mind, and I'm sure that the students would love to know. You just said, for instance, I just got a call to do this. And then you were at the cancer center, and then you were at the university, and then you're at doctor. There's this amazing progression, but how are people finding out about you? Like, what marketing materials are you using?
So I've been really blessed because cancer support, they have their own marketing system. So I don't have to market. And so with cancer support, they also have a magazine. They're connected. They are a part of, rather, the Cancer Society, that whole foundation, that nationwide foundation. So there is a community newsletter that goes out through for Central Ohio. And so my picture is there. Me and Emily, we're there, and it has our name on there. So people will go to their to a they'll go to like the Bean Cancer Center for their radiation, and they'll pick up the magazine and they open it, and they're like, "Wait, I know her." And that actually happened. My friend, uh, she's fine now, but she had to go for radiation, and she knows I do this, but she doesn't pay me any mind. And she opens it and she ends up telling the lady like, "Oh my God, that's my friend. I know her. That's my friend." So yeah, so I do that. And then same with the Ohio State University, they do the advertising. I don't have to do any advertising. The churches, it's in their newsletters, it's online, so I don't have to do any advertising. We also do with the Black churches, it's virtual. So all of those members, they tell their family members. And my particular pastor, her husband is military. So when he was deployed, he would get on, and then his unit started to notice, like, "Hey, we want to do that. And what are you doing?" And he shared the link. So now, even to this day, we have people overseas that join us virtually. So I've just been blessed because I was able to enter a room that I never knew existed through the person who was my ex that I did my externship with. Um, and it really was just that. Once I got in there, I started networking. I started talking to other people, and that's how, this whole thing came to be. The name of my business is called Holistically Sunny, and there's a W in parentheses for the whole body, whole person. But it's Holistically Sunny, and honestly, it just, like I said, it just came to be from that.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. But you could get a website. I had a website, and then I didn't know how to manage it well. So I was like, you know what? We should just stop for a minute and figure this thing out. But I do want to get a website. I want to get out there and be a little more independent, because I am very much dependent upon the Cancer Society and on OSU. Uh, they're those two healthy kitchens. The church thing, that was independent, and then what I'm doing today at the table, we're independent. And those are the two independent projects. I say independent because those are the two things I would have to advertise for. Um, and for the table, we did do a lot of advertising for the table. I went out to different schools, organizations, but it was me putting my face out there and actually talking, which is new for me to talk to people about what I'm doing, and feeling confident to say, yes, I'm a holistic chef, and in the back of my head say, and I'm the best.
Well,
So
you
yeah.
are the best, and I know you're unverified in the meeting, so I don't think you can see all these wonderful comments. So I'm going to read these
Oh,
wonderful comments, and I know Judy has a question too. So I want to just Emily's saying, "Wow, that's so cool. I'm in
thank
awe
you.
of everything you're doing, Sunny." Chef Martinez agreed. All you're doing is amazing. Chef Hind is saying, "Such an inspiration, mind blowing." Jen Tobin, "I'm so happy you're doing so much to fulfill your love of cooking and helping people. Very inspiring." So we're so proud of you, Sunny. And Judy,
Thank you.
what do you have? Do you have a question for Sunny?
Hi, good morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
interested to know about your vegan oxtail. Because I
Oh, yes.
I cook for people who want to eat healthy, but they don't want to give up the pork, the fish,
I
all of that
never
good stuff.
do. Yeah, so the vegan oxtail is it's a trick. It's a trick. Um, so what you want to do? Okay, I'm just gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you everything because I sell this. So, but I will tell you the trick. Okay,
I got you.
to get that fatty film, you want to wrap it in rice paper. Shocker, I know, but that's it. It's the rice paper, and you could build upon that.
That's amazing.
And you can use your own form of meat. You can use your own, as far as like mock meat, or you can use your own form of mock meat mixed with mushrooms or lentils. Um, but just season it up good. Use your jerk seasoning. Um, they won't know the difference. They'll love it. They'll love it.
Thank you so much.
You're very
I'm gonna try
welcome.
it.
Yes, yes, try it.
Well, thank you so
I
much,
just noticed
Sunny.
Melissa's here. Hi, Melissa. Sorry. Bye, you guys. I appreciate it.
We're so wonderful to have you. We're recording this, so we'll send you the recording as well. I want to leave some time for Hind, but a big round of applause for Chef Sunny B.
And to you guys. And to
Congratulations.
you guys. All right, everyone, have a blessed day. Take care of yourselves and stay confident. Bye.
Thank you so much, Sunny. All right, well, very exciting. So Sunny is in Ohio. You know, she was talking a little bit about Ohio, but Chef Hind is in London, right, Chef Hind? So your perspective on everything, we're very curious about as well, and what you're doing. So I'm going to spotlight you
Thank you.
and enlighten us.
Thank you. Is there a way where I can share my screen?
Yes, I'm going to fix that for you right now.
No worries.
All
Thank
right,
you.
there you go.
Thank you so much. Before I share my screen, I just wanna. She left, but Sunny is. I never met her because I was not from her year of school. But I just want to tell her that she is very It's very inspiring. It's totally different from what I do, but seeing a progression within 3 years, it's amazing. So I just want her to know that she's doing an amazing job. She should be proud of herself. Yeah. So I'm gonna share my screen. I've never done that on, yeah, screen, I think. Can you guys see it? Hopefully.
Yes, looks good.
Oh, amazing. All right, let me just put present. I think that's how it does. Okay, cool. Perfect. Maybe before I need to maybe talk with my face. So, hi everyone. I'm a bit shy, that's why I'm weird. Thank you so much for having me. I know that a few weeks ago, oh, hi Angela, I didn't see you. So yeah, other grads did their presentation, so I couldn't be there. So thank you for being flexible. And yeah, so today I'll just go over a quick presentation of my time after I got graduated. Has been very slow because I tried to figure out what I want to do. So I just want to be bold with what happened. Nothing impressive, just what's happening, and I hope that it will help you um, be kind to yourself and also learn from anything that I've been doing, and learn from my mistakes as well. So I want to share my screen now. Okay. And if there's any mistake in English, I apologize in advance because I'm French. Okay, so So yeah, so this is my journey basically after Bowman College and how I'm still building my culinary career. So I really highlighted this because this never ends. We think that it ends when we get graduated, but everything starts there. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to the next slide. But basically, what I do is obviously I'm a holistic chef. I call myself an educator because I'm really focused on education uh, and everything around flavors and also health. So I focus mainly on Middle Eastern, Mediterranean cooking. I'm coming from a Moroccan background, so everything around North African, Middle East is what talks to me. I also love baking, so I'm trying to learn a lot about specialty baking, anything that is more on the gluten-free vegan side. And I'm taking a lot of like different courses on, learning from people and getting there. It's a tough word, so it's really important to practice. And what I basically do is I mainly teach women foundations of cooking along with holistic cooking, obviously. But I really start with basics because even as a chef, I had to learn basics, and that's what brought me the confidence in the kitchen. Um, and yeah, so my story after Bowman, I call it not traditional because I didn't start with just going to a kitchen or working in any job. So I decided that I'm gonna do my own thing. And I still have a full-time job, so I'm still working with my same sales job since 5 years. So I decided to not quit yet. I tried to quit, but I'm being honest with myself and financially and everything, also the responsibilities that I have with my job. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna work part-time, start to build my business, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you what happened after school. My business, basically, I decided to create a collective, and I called it the Mindful Chef Collective, simply because I don't believe on doing things alone. I believe about like bringing people together, people that are successful in what they do, have their voice in terms of what I do, and working together. So I hope that one day I can really have a lot of people working, different specialty dietitians, people specializing on eating disorder, for example, on pregnancy. So that's my biggest vision, rather than just doing things and being the face of the Mindful Chef Collective. So yeah, whether you're trying to figuring out, I hope that this gives you some inspiration and like allowance to just do your own thing as well. So I'll go through a couple of things. First is the idea of creating a personal brand. My first steps, obviously, and then saying no to some roles and how it's important to say no and saying yes before you're ready. That's also another one. And then the power of collaborations. And then last one will be just my lessons and what I've learned within, it has been not a year, but a few months. So yeah, I'm gonna start because I talk too much. So yeah, so the first step that I've done is putting myself out there. So one thing that I've realized is um, you don't have to wait for the perfect opportunity. You just start cooking. And when I say everywhere, it's everywhere. So even before school, within school, in between like the classes that we had, you're probably already studying. So you know that you have your lab work, you have all of this. What I've done is I'm not saying I never ate my food, but I actually tried my food, obviously. But I've always gave food around. So I was living in a certain neighborhood in London, and the whole neighborhood would actually wait for my food every time I had school and I had a class. I used to go to different coffee shops, so everybody tried my food. And the reason why I've done that is because I actually wanted to, first of all, get people's reaction of holistic cooking and learning how to talk about it, and also getting feedback. Like, how do people react when they ate something that is healthy, but they don't even know. Like they just eat it. Oh, that's amazing. What is it? And then I put this instead of that. I learned this in school today. People were so interested, and it helped me gain more confidence and building connections as well. But it's really important to just try, and it could be your family, could be your spouse, anybody. You don't have to go like me in coffee shops, but that's super, super important to just um, practice what you're learning in the process. Then you can just be what you're doing in a sense. So yeah, I've been cooking for friends, families, after graduation, obviously taking small events, again, going to coffee shops, giving tasters, um, hosting free tasting events to get to know people in my building, because I moved in a building that has a lot of kitchen facilities. And then basically I just host a lot of things there. Yeah, I was just like, let me do it. And I met a lot of people that were interested to help me. So it was a good start for me. Then things about reinvesting things into my business. So I decided to go online. That was my main thing. But even for marketing myself, I like to talk about investing into your business, because we should all have, like, everybody's different with their budget, but I decided to put things into marketing, even grocery shopping. That costs money to do things, and when you don't make money, you can feel a bit like, why am I doing this for? But I said to myself, I'm gonna put money on this equipment, cooking classes to learn, different books, just to be able to get out there. And trust me, no matter how much money you make after that, you don't make, you earn an experience, and that's gold. This is something that is so, so important. So if you can do that, keep your job. That's my opinion. Keep your job, whatever you're doing, and start investing a little bit of that money into your business, and then you can, as soon as you make even, you can quit. That's the goal. That's the goal for me personally. But yeah, so what I've done as well, I offered some cooking classes while I was in school, for the company I'm working for. So that helped me a lot, because when I had to create my portfolio a few months ago, I realized I have so much content. I had around 20 cooking classes videos, a lot of screenshots, a lot of proof that I'm doing this. That helped me a lot. So I would say, if you're now studying, don't hesitate to just teach what you've learned today. Like, teach what you've learned. Of course, you practice and you know how you're doing it, but that's really important. Don't be afraid to do it. You can also be open and say, hey, I'm still a student, but I learned a lot of things and I can teach you something. So yeah, that's another one. Another things I've done is applying to private chef agencies. So I get a lot of things through WhatsApp or through email. Hey, Hind, there's this person in central London who wants, it's a family with 2 people, whatever. They need your help. Like, do you want to do it? And I accept it or not, but that's also good to get out there in different agencies. I actually talked to the owner in one-to-one, and he didn't have any holistic chef. He was mind blown by like what it is. He was like, what it is? And he's a chef himself, like 30 years into the chefing world. He didn't know what was a holistic chef. So that's good to be different. I personally think that's good to be different. And a lot of people today, especially since COVID, want to be healthy. So we need to step out and say, yeah, this is what I do. And I can bring something better to you. So, and then I listed my services on different platforms. I'm sure in the US you have a lot of them. But mine are called Why Hungry UK Mentor Classes. I definitely just, you don't have, I think, like Fanny said, she said, for her marketing, it's magazines, it's already people doing that for her. Those kind of websites, they take a small percentage, but they already do the marketing for you. So I believe on working smart. So if you can just get out there, no matter who is booking or not, if you want to get out there, just post your account, create your portfolio, do that, and trust me, one day somebody will turn up and tell you, I want you to work for me, and then everything will start. So just get out there. That's the first thing I would say. Yeah, so that's it. That's what I said. Get out there, cook, share, and let the world know what you do. You don't need to have it all figured out. Any questions, guys, so far? I have a couple of slides still to go. No? Okay. Oh, good. So yeah, that's just a quick, like, pictures of my websites of like flyers I've done in the past, few months ago, and then this is the classes that I do on the one of the websites. So I just wanted to share that with you. And I use Canva, very easy. I'm sure a lot of people know about it, but I use Canva to just do all of this, and it's very easy and useful, friendly. I don't know how to say that in English. Yeah, I think you got me. Oh, I have somebody. Judy, do I take questions now or later?
Yeah,
Sure.
Judy, we can ask Judy, please ask your question.
Hi, good morning. What would you suggest using to get your rice yellow, but not using too much chemical? What kind of spice would you suggest?
Oh, what do you mean by yellow? Like, do you just want
Yellow
color in it?
rice.
Oh, you can use turmeric. Turmeric is
Turmeric?
amazing.
Is that
And
is
it,
that the only thing?
I mean, there's a lot of like coloring. In Morocco, we use some coloring. I would prefer to use turmeric in terms of like the orange bright flavor. Yeah, you can use. Depends on the flavor that you want. Um, I would say I don't know what other chefs could suggest. But I would say turmeric is great. Or saffron as well.
Oh, saffron too?
Yeah,
Okay.
saffron could be
Thank
a good.
you.
Of course. Yeah, so that was a quick picture as well of the portfolio that I created for this agency. And anybody, you can also print that in as a book as well if you go to any coffee shops or any restaurants as well. So I just wanted to share that with you. Um, then my favorite part is talking about the relationships that you can build. So cafes, I believe that cafes are a niche for anything that is holistic. Any branches. I'm sure in the US that's where it all started anyway. But in the UK, there's a lot of different brunch places that do a lot of holistic cooking, a lot of vegan cakes, a lot of plant-based options. So you could actually, what I've done personally is I work in a daily basis in coffee shops. So I meet the people there, ask questions about what they do. I observe like clients, what they ask. I see a lot of clients asking, oh, do you have any vegan thing? Oh, what do you put on this? Oh, do you have something, this and this? And I observe and I realize what people need. Then what I do is I actually go to I get to know them, the owners or anybody, the managers, and then I just ask questions and say, okay, what is it homemade? Is it this? I also want to try it, obviously, but I don't get excited by something that is just traditional. I get excited when something is like gluten free or any of that. So I'm like, oh, can I try? And I talk about myself, and then I wait a little bit and I bring a taster or bring anything. And then yeah, last time I went to a coffee shop that I know about, and then I brought them my granola because I do cooking classes online and sometimes I do also content and I made a granola and I brought it to the owner. And then since then she followed me and then she asked me to basically collab with her for summer for her new menu, like to do any cakes or any things. She's also hosting events, musical events for her coffee shop. Like it will be there's going to be a DJ a whole day with music, and then she asked me to just help her with the cooking. So I'm still considering this because I always think about the risk, about like what's going on, what can I get from there. But my main purpose for saying this is that whatever you give or whatever you do, if you get out there, new opportunities will get to you. People won't know who you are if you don't get out there. So yeah, don't be afraid of bringing things to people and making them try what you do. You never know. Um, Now I want to talk about personal branding and Instagram as a display. I'm not a social media expert. I work in sales and this industry since 5 years. That's why it's easier for me. But that's something I wanted to explain because we don't learn that at Bowman or any other places. But I don't think you need to be an influencer or anything like that to get your company out there and get clients. So I would see Instagram as a display, like when you go to a bakery and then people would buy or not. depending on how it looks like. If it's messy, not looking good, not appealing, people will not buy. So I would say Instagram is like a portfolio. It's like showcasing your recipes, your cooking videos, what you do as a chef, who you are. So don't be afraid to like show things like of who you are, right? Behind the scenes, or what you cook, and be consistent, engage with people. Just post once a week. Don't be afraid to just start something about what you cooked last week, a new recipe that you've done. Um, so yeah, so I gave the example of the bakery. I already talked about it. And then yeah, so social media is not about being an influencer. It's about being seen for what you do, and just be yourself. Yeah, so that's quick example of what I do. I will share my Instagram at the end with you. But I'm actually not I'm consistent, but not consistent, I would say, because I I use that as a display. I'm not really focused on it. Um, but when I feel like okay, it's time to sell something, or promote my program or anything like that, I'll be on it. But I try to do at least like 3 times a week, 4 times a week. Sometimes I'm not there because I'm focusing on other things. But I think consistency is really important. Um, the next slide is saying no. I this slide was really wanted to share this with you, because that was kind of like a hit that I had few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. So I think Chef Michelle knows. I can't remember last time I talked to you guys. I talked about this kitchen supervisor job, and I ended saying no. Like after 2 weeks, I said no. So I've been offered to work in a gym. This is like an Equinox style gym where they have a lounge, they have a coffee shop, a restaurant. And then they asked me to kind of like manage the kitchen. I was so excited. For me, it was like all dream, and I was like, oh yeah, I really want to do that. And in the meantime, I still have a full-time job plus starting my business. So I was like, it's okay, I'll do it. I'm gonna work part-time. And then at some point, despite having the salary that I wanted, I negotiated everything. And then I just sat back and I was like, is it going to be helpful for me or not helpful for what I want to do? So I came to the point where it will actually affect my creativity, my freedom, and also my mission. Simply because they were desperate to have somebody, to the point where people didn't know how to cook there, so they needed somebody to cook. And then they ended telling me it's going to be a 48 hours contract, when I said I just work part-time. And I was like, what do? I know I'll be trapped, and I know I will learn some things, but I don't want to, I don't want to give up on my dream, because I know where I want to go. So sometimes walking away is not bad. You can respect your energy, you can protect your vision. Sometimes you can say no. So I just wanted to share that. Even when we reject you, like if somebody rejects you, we rejected me a few weeks ago about my cooking, by the way. I was like, I gave a taster, and then they wanted gluten-free, but they didn't know anything about gluten-free cooking. And I made this cake that I've tried a lot of time for 6 months, a year, and everybody loves it. Different type of people, different background. And I had a feedback, sorry, but we don't like you. We don't like it. And I was like, okay, what is the reason? They said it's grainy. And I was like, but this is gluten free. Like this is not the same. I even told them you can't have the same expectation. But then I got a bit offended when I went home. I was like, I was so obsessed. I made 5 different batches of cakes, the same one, and I went to different places where everyone in London that I know, and I made them try my cake because I was obsessed, or something is wrong with me. And everybody liked it. And I was like, Hin, just chill out. Sometimes people would not like what you do and would not know what you're doing, would not understand your vision. So I just said that because I just want to share with you that sometimes you can't make everybody happy. And I'm not saying you know everything, but it's good to question yourself. Was I good? Did I do well? Do I have to get better? We all have to get better. Sometimes people will not understand your language and what you want to do and your mission and everything that you do, and it's okay. So yeah, I told you at the beginning, I'm gonna share with you things that were not all good, also the bad ones. So yeah. Um, yeah, so saying no, super important as well. Um, Then the power of food, community, and connection. This is a big thing for me, and I hope that you can understand my vision through that. So my definition of success is not like in terms of like what we do as chefs is not just food. Food is so super important, but it's also who you share it with. So for example, the fact that you offer things to people that would lead you to having new connections. And again, one connection can get you anywhere. You don't know, right? Word of mouth is super important. That will bring you opportunities you never expected. Do not underestimate your surrounding. That's super important. Even a neighbor can open up doors to you, right? So anybody around you, or even when you start doing your classes, think about 5 people that you have in your surrounding that you know. Could be anybody, family, your neighbor, teacher, anything. And then you think when you start like you nobody knows you. There's a lot of people that know you. There's a lot of people that know you, and you can just start from like this, right? Yeah. And then so your skills plus community is a lot of opportunities. That's what I believe in. So that was an event that I gave. I made this girl. She is based. I went to do some volunteering for a cooking class, kind of charity, and they do cooking classes. It's like cooking classes hosted by refugees because they don't have the papers, they don't have basically the language. So what this association do, they actually give them a 3 years contract where they learn English, they have cooking classes, and then they become chefs. They're already chefs, but they are not officially chefs. Then the goal is for them to be in UK and work. So I went as a volunteer there, and then I met this girl who is actually the woman, kind of operate like the operations woman. She does everything there. She hosts, and I was mind blown by the way she talks. She carries herself, and we literally spent 3 hours talking about our visions and what she want to do. And then 2 weeks later, we hosted an event on my building. Those people are literally my friends, people from the building, people I never met, half half. And then I just made a Middle Eastern menu. We played games, and that was the first event I did. And from there, that got me a lot of confidence. But again, what I'm saying is the power of getting out there, but also meeting people that are like-minded. And this event gave me a lot of confidence about people that don't really know about holistic cooking, but want to eat healthy. One of them were vegans. I made a lot of different recipes. There was a kid as well. He loved it. So yeah, that's my definition of like cooking. It brings people together, even if people don't know much about it. It's just like people are curious. They all want to know how you do this, how to become more healthy. So yeah, spreading the word is really important. So it was fun. It was really fun. Next one will be collaborations. I think that's the last slide, and after that we'll go through the lessons. Yeah, so I personally love collaborations, no matter how much it's gonna cost me or how much I'm gonna earn or not from it. I always start by talking and meeting people and seeing if the value connects, and then we can do something. So, for example, Saturday I have a cooking day with this woman. I will show you the slide after. She owns her own spice brand, and she is African, which I love because we neighbors. And then she basically she has one specific African spices into her blend spice. This is beautiful. And basically she has three for now blends, but she is a lot into, how spices blends are full of, preservatives or vegetable oils or added sugars. So she's really focusing on the ingredient content and making things flavorful. And I tried them; they are amazing. I tried the fish seasoning. My fish was amazing. So I was like, I tried her things, and I met her, and we just bonded, and we're just gonna do some events together. So nothing promised, but for me, if I can get her, my clients or anybody around to get her spices, and I can get more visibility and also more uh, experience, why not, right? So I just go for I go for it, right? So If you align with the values, you just come as you are, you explain who you are, then people will just come to you. So I believe on long-term, meaningful, and mission-driven relationships with people. Um, I wrote the elevator pitch power. That's something that you will learn with school very soon, probably, or maybe you already learned it. But this is also something that I've been practicing a lot. When you meet somebody, make sure that you know who you are, what you want to do. And if you don't know fully, it's okay. But maybe just talk about why you started, and then things will come up naturally. So yeah, partnership should elevate your voice, not just your bank account. Even if you did not earn anything at first, take experience and you're getting out there and the money will come. Yeah. Yeah, so that's an example. So that was like just her spices. You can maybe check. It's called Imano Spices. She's in Dubai, in the UK as well, and in Africa. And she's just started, but a lot of things can happen. For example, let's say you get along with this person in the future, she can even offer you, for example, to, hi, can you bring your own like blend spice and we can work together, because she's not a chef. So if a chef comes to her and say, I'm going to cook with your spices and collab with you, she is all in. Right? So just, yeah, that's always a good thing to think about. Okay, so my lessons and advice. So things that I wish I knew when I started. So I'm still learning every single day through my wins and failures. I've been a lot doubting about who I was, what I want to do. I think Chef Martina knows we've been in contact after school, and once in a while I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, so always think that you're learning every day and you'll find your way at some point, as long as you keep going. You won't have it all figured out, and that's okay. Get inspiration, but don't copy. Your uniqueness is your strength. So don't try to compare yourself to other chefs, to other people that are successful or not. Just get inspiration. It's really important to see what's working out there, but just be yourself. Again, forget competitions. There's room for everyone. This is a big one for me because a lot of people told me, what are you doing? You want to be doing this? There's so many competitions. I believe that if something works, you can just bring your own touch and be successful as well. Cooking for others, giving, instant networking. So that if you have nothing around you, just start by giving, as I said earlier. And the highs won't stay. Be ready and okay with the lows. This is a big one for me because when I landed, my first clients, we'll talk about it at the end, ended not being a client. It was a mess. It was not good. It was a big disappointment. But then I'm okay with the lows because a step back is important. Then you learn from the lows, but when the highs happen, you're also happy. So I would say like staying neutral and saying, I'm actually getting what I want right now, but I know there's going to be some obstacles and it's okay because it's part of it and I will learn from it. So yeah, that's I think that's the biggest one for me. um yeah, I'm almost done. I hope it's not too long. The last one, I think that's the last one, is finding your niche. And I think that a lot of people out there, and even you student, would ask yourself, what do I want to do after? What do I want to specialize on? And when you go to the business course, we'll ask you, okay, what do you want to do? And to be honest, I changed my mind 20 times. And even when I got graduated, I changed my mind until I found what I want to do 3 weeks ago, to be honest. And maybe still I'm gonna like make it better or anything like that. But don't overthink about it. Just set up, like actually be and do things. And then the more you do, for example, I don't know, you do meal prep for people, you do events, you do content, classes, you try, you say, okay, I don't like this. For example, I don't like meal prepping. I don't like meal prepping for people or doing too much of events. I want to go online because it's overwhelming for me. It's a lot. I prefer to educate. I don't want to do this, for example. So I've tried a lot of things and I know what I don't want to do. Um, Notice what energizes you and what drains you. That's your compass. That's super important. For example, this this really doesn't energize me at all. It's cool for families or like, but it's not. I prefer to educate. So yeah, so your niche is what passionate you, right? What you're passionate about, plus what others need. So what you do, what passionates you, does it actually help people or not? And then you think about, okay, so if I bring out a solution, that might be the niche I want to do. And then you also see if it's working out there, if it's actually just your neighbor that has this problem, a lot of people, and then you can bring out a solution. So, for example, personally, me, that became nourishment, culture, feminine expression through food. And that started even 4 years ago before I found Bauman College. But it started when I found a client from my building and she wanted to learn how to cook. She had some disabilities, so she had issues to work with her hands. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna teach you how to cook. And then we did a 4 hours cooking class. It was amazing. She was patient. I was patient. And then at the end, we had an issue with prices. So I don't know what happened, but she apparently misunderstood my prices and she was like, I cannot do it. I can't do that anymore, Hind. I'm sorry. And I was so excited to get into with her, but apparently price was an objection. I was like, it's okay. It's fine. I got the experience. You know where I'm at if you want. If you want, we can do it later, whatever. But the thing that I thank her for, she actually helped me realize what I want to do and find my niche. So she, by one phrase that she said to me, I always ask to people when they want to be my client or anything around, what does cooking mean to you? And she told me, and why do you want to learn? She was like, I want to learn cooking because I want to be a good wife. I was like, okay, can you elaborate? She was like, if I'm married and I have a husband and kids, imagine I don't even know how to cook. How can I bring my home together? And that hit me. I think for 1 week I was having like kind of daydreams about it, and one day I was like, this is it. Like, for to me cooking was through my mom. My mom is Arabic. She cooks 3 meals a day every single day since I was born. So for her it's what brings home together. And I realized that this is what I have through tradition, through my genes. And if I can actually, that's like nourishing people. And to me, as a woman, it brings out your femininity. It brings out this part of you that nourish people, but also it nourishes you. So that's my way of expressing myself through cooking. And I've talked to a lot of women around, and that's what I want to create. I want to create a community where women can learn how to cook and tap into their feminine energy again, and really claiming that cooking for your husband or anybody else is not being a maid. So that's something that I want to teach people, teach women actually to do in a daily basis. Um, so build your brand slowly, deeply through aligned people, platforms, and purpose. And again, you don't need to go viral. You just need to go deep, learn how to give value, and learn how to sell. So focus on what makes you alive, then share it consistently and thoughtfully. That's how your niche finds you back. And it will take time. It will take time, and that's okay. So yeah, that's promise. That's the last slide. It's just a few pointers again that your culinary path doesn't have to look like anybody else. You don't need a job title to claim your purpose. So that's really important as well. You just need to show up, flavor, courage, heart, and keep learning. So just to remember, the kitchen is where your story begins, but you decide where it goes, right? You are the person who decide where it goes. Every dish, every reel that you post if you're using Instagram, every classes, every no and every yes is part of the journey. And then let your passion seep out, let your story feeds others, because we all have a story. You started Bauman College because you wanted to do it for one reason. I don't know it, but there's a reason. So remember why you started. So trust the slow burn, stay rooted, keep creating. The world needs your flavor. So thank you guys. So this is my Instagram. If you want to stay connected, you can DM me directly on Teams if you have any questions. I'm happy to support you if you have anything to ask, and I hope I can do more presentations like this, or to help anybody as much as I can. Thank you guys.
I think Judy has a question for you, Hind.
Yes, sure.
Hi again. What
Hi, Judy.
advice, hey, what advice would you give coming from a country where you use a lot of spices, all these things, and you're now living in a community where They just look at it and like, no, they don't even want to try it. What advice would you give?
Okay. Um, well, coming from a family that is very picky eaters, and funny enough, now my family wants to try my food. I would say you cannot change people. That's something that I would say. Um, you can lead by example. Lead by example. By live through what you thrive for. If what is it? Is it people not wanting to try? Is it people just saying I don't want to try your food, or are they open about it? Like, how do you express yourself throughout your food and what you do?
They're not open about it.
Okay. Do they tell you why?
No, they just pass over it. If it's
Okay.
chicken, they'll try the chicken. But anything else like healthy you put, try to cook, it's like they just pass over it. But if you
Okay.
prepare chicken, they'll try the chicken.
Okay. Well, is there any ways that you could like cook this chicken through different ways in a healthy way and then make them try it if they like chicken?
That's what I do. But
Okay.
then I
Good.
try to add like maybe a little creative salad, a little creative something as a side dish. It's a no-no.
Okay. If you don't mind, who are those people for you? Is it
I
just
live in a community where it's mostly Mexicans and Filipinos,
okay?
but they want you to try their food and they like push you to try their food. But then when you try to do it with yours, it's like they back off. So I'm
Okay.
like, okay, what kind of advice would you give?
Okay. Well, when it comes to like cultural food, it's hard. It's hard to get people to try other things, especially cultural food. What I would do is get interested about their own food and then try to make it in your way and say, hey, like, I know you guys eat this, whatever is the dish, and then I just made one. Like, what do you think about trying this? And then
The
they will try
str-
it.
the
Yeah.
strangest thing, the food is not far from ours. It's just different names and prepared in a different way, but it's the same food.
Okay.
So that to me is like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, don't get it, don't get this personal to you. It's people who are stubborn. Don't get it personal. I'm sure you're
I
doing
got you.
amazing. Yeah, but try to talk their language. Talk their language. That's super important. If you talk their language, they will be open. Yeah, I would suggest that.
Okay, thank you so much.
No worries.
Emily, I think you have a question.
Oh, I just feel like I have a lot of statements. First of all, just to say that was amazing,
Oh,
Hind,
thank you.
and thank you so much for sharing. And just really, I'm feeling very, I don't know, humbled is the word that comes up that you and Sunny are out there representing Bowman so beautiful, like so beautifully. It's a real honor to have our name associated with you. That's so amazing. So thank you for taking the time to share. And just your slides were so yeah, so inspiring to hear
Thank
about your
you.
journey and to also talk about it's not always about the positive, right? That actually sometimes the hard parts of the journey are the most important because that's when you learn a lot. So thank you for highlighting that. And I also just wanted to reflect too with Judy's question, the way that you also modeled, the discovery, like being curious about it, I think is also a great approach when people are resistant, right? When you're going, so why aren't you like, what is it about this that you're resistant to? Or tell me more about what you usually eat. So it kind of helps, yeah, it helps people also think differently, right? And kind of question themselves too. So just want to say thank you for that. That was a really just thoughtful way of, yeah, thinking about
Thank
how
you.
to navigate those conversations.
Thank you.
Yeah, most of them have never heard of the Caribbean. So I don't know if that's the reason.
It's hard, Judy. I will say my in-laws are Filipino, and I've 12, 13 years I've been going to all the gatherings and the potlucks and bringing my wonderful dish, and nobody eats it because they just are very used to the familiar. And so I really do think Hind's advice about you cooking their food is the best way to get them to trust your flavor profile. And when I started to cook, adobo or sinigang or their dishes, they were very excited by that. And so they were feeling like they were also being seen and accepted by what I was making, because I was making things that they wanted to eat or they could access. Chef Yvonne, did you have a thought too?
Yeah, first I just want to, Chef Hind, thank you for sharing. You're truly an inspiration, and there's always something to learn, no matter how long, we've been doing this. It doesn't matter. There's always something new to learn, and I love how you also touched on the highs and the lows, because there are many lows to this industry, especially as a chef. People don't always get you. They don't always get the vision. They don't understand. And that's okay. That's when it's like, okay, I need to walk away from this, right? And close that door and trust that another door is going to open. And there are so many for the one person that doesn't get you, there's going to be 10 that will, and that's kind of where. So thank you for sharing that. And then just also reiterate that I think it's as chefs, it's really important that we do speak our clients' language, whatever that is, and not we can continuously offer and offer and offer and offer, but it really is up to the client who takes us on that journey with them, and we just do our best and keep offering. It's like picky little eaters, right? I had a client whose children very picky, and so we just kind of kept making food and offering it, and then finally they started landing on certain things, and it's like, okay, well, we're going to start making a lot of that, and knowing that it's healthy and they're getting some nutrient and vitamins in there, but it does take time, and also you have to gain the trust of your client, and the only way that you're going to do that is by slowly going on that journey and listening, being a good listener and saying, okay, this is what they want, this is what they like, this is what they don't like. And so I need to kind of back off of that. So anyway, but thank you for sharing your story. It's a story and a beautiful journey. And I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
Just a huge round of applause and gratitude for Hind for coming in here and just, being vulnerable about what's happening. I'm just really impressed by that. And I hope you continue with that honesty and that transparency and everything that you do, because I think it's bringing that energy to you with all of the people that you're talking about and the collaboration. And just we want to collaborate with you too here at Bauman. So I do hope that you'll come back and do some more focused talks for us as well, because there's so much knowledge you have to share. Just how you're doing things in Canvas, right? People are curious about that, how your posts. And I want to make sure everybody saw Hind's post too about her YouTube channel, and follow her on social, because there's so much cool stuff that she's sharing there, and just seeing that energy there, it's contagious.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all for joining us today for Chat with a Grad. Stay tuned for more Chat with the Grads. We'll be posting those shortly, but have a really wonderful day, everybody.
Thank you for being here. Thank you, guys. Bye.